Today we're going to be finding the whole amount in our videos. So we're going to be given the percent and the part, and then we're going to use that to find the whole amount. We're going to use proportions and equations to answer these. So this is going to be very similar to my other videos on finding the part, finding the percent, and then now finding the whole amount. So just the next phase in these. If you need to go back and watch those other videos to help you, you can. We're going to be building off that today. Okay, let's go over our examples. In example 1, we're going to be using equations to find the whole amount. So again, we got to remember that part is associated with the word is associated with our whole amount, and then we have our percent that is in there. And the percent's the one that has a percent sign, so that one's easy to find. Okay, so to find this using an equation, what we're going to do is we're going to take the part, which is going to be the 12, that's going to be our part, and we are going to divide that by our percent. Now remember, when we do percent, we need to convert it to decimal. Okay, we need to convert that percent to a decimal. Now, when we do that, we're going to take 60%, which remember, as a decimal is 0.60. It's 60 out of 100, which is 60 hundredths. Okay, so which is 0.60 or 0.6. And we're going to take the part then. Now that we know that a decimal, we do 12 divided by 0.60. We type that in our calculator, and we are going to get 20. So 12 is 60% of what number? 20. 12 is 60% of 20. And that's how you're going to find the whole amount. So if you knew the part and you knew the percent, you could go work backwards to then find how much it originally was. Okay, in example 2, let's say you answered 15 correct, and we want to know how many total questions there were. So 15 correct is going to be our part. So again, we're going to take 75% and we're going to convert that to a decimal, 0.75. And then we're going to take our part and divide it by our percent. So we're going to take the 15 and we're going to divide it by 0.75. And 15 divided by 0.75 is 20. So how many questions were on the test? 20 questions were on the test. Okay? And that's how we're going to figure out our whole amount, using an equation. Okay, if you need to go back and watch any of that again, go ahead. Otherwise, I'm going to move on to proportions. To use a proportion, we're going to be using our same proportions that we've been using. So again, that's percent over 100 equals our part over our whole amount. Okay, so in this case, our part is the number that's associated with the word is. So 12 is, that's our part. And then 48% is our percent. And then of what number, that's our unknown. So we're going to take our percent, 48 over 100 equals 12 is going to be our part over our unknown. To solve them, I'm going to do 12 times 100. Remember, I multiply the cross numbers I know. That is 1200. And then I divide it by the unknown, the number that's with the unknown. 1200 divided by 48, and that is going to give me 25. So the answer is 25. 12 is 48% of 25. Okay. For number 3, if we have a word problem here, we read 16 pages, and that's 32% of the book. How many pages are in the book? Well, I could do that. I can take my percent, 32 over 100, equals 16 is just the part that I've read. I want to figure out the total amount in the book, so I take 16 over the unknown. Again, multiply 16 times 100, and that's going to equal 1600. Then I divide by the number that's with the unknown. 1600 divided by 32, and that's going to give me 50. So in this particular book, there'd be 50 pages. Okay, and just like an earlier video, if you notice, and you can use equivalent ratios, that's fine. You don't have to solve the proportions by using the proportions. You could look at them as equivalent ratios. So for example, 48 divided by 4 is 12, so 100 divided by 4 is 25. So that's another way of getting your answer. Or here you could do 32 divided by 2 is 16. So then I do 100 divided by 2, and that is 50. So that's an alternate way that you can get those answers. Okay? If you need to watch anything again, go back and watch anything again, go ahead. Otherwise, have a great night.